The leader of the Michigan Republican Party is refusing to take down a tweet that compares basic gun laws moving through the Michigan legislature to the Holocaust.
Tonight, the Republican Party chair, Christina Caramo, held a news conference in Macomb County outside Detroit to address that controversial tweet. Our political reporter, Rachel Louise Just, brings us up to speed.
It's this tweet from the state Republican Party's official Twitter account that's drawing criticism from the Jewish community and others. A photo from 1945 shows a box of rings from Buchenwald concentration camp with the words, "Before they collected all these wedding rings, they collected all the guns." The post is a reaction to gun control bills moving through the state legislature.
There's a difference between learning from history and exploiting history and trivializing history. And I want to know, did your group ask any Jews?
You speak for yourself.
No.
There are plenty. No. I know. Let me. Okay. No.
Michigan.
You speak for, sir. You speak for yourself. There are plenty of Jewish people who agree with me.
During a news conference Wednesday night in Macomb County, members of the Jewish community urged MIGOP Chair Christina Caramo to delete the tweet.
Our community is hurting and offended, and even if you didn't mean that, they are, and I think you know that.
Something Caramo says she won't do because she stands by it.
I argue that we as Americans, excuse the simple nature of this comment, have become soft. We've become soft.
The bills the MIGOP tweet is referring to are likely to be signed by Governor Gretchen Whitmer after they make their way through the newly Democratic-led legislature.
They would put in place gun storage requirements, background checks for long guns, and create red flag laws, which would temporarily take guns from a person a court determines is at risk of hurting themselves or others.
Students need to learn to be sensitive to each other and to each other's pain on all different sides. And here we hear a leading politician say, no, we're too sensitive. We shouldn't be so sensitive.
The party facing political condemnation, too, from nearly every side. Trivializing the Holocaust is never acceptable, a tweet from the Republican Jewish Coalition reads. Chairwoman Christina Caramo's doubling down on this disgusting and inappropriate content is a sad day for the MIGOP. Some Republicans say the tweet is just the beginning of the problem.
And so they have no ability to be a serious state party. And it's sad to see, but we're in a one-party system now in the state of Michigan.
Some worrying about what that message says for the future of the party under Caramo.
Well, there's absolutely no chance of them regaining any foothold in the state with Caramo as the chairperson. She should resign.
Caramo brushing aside Republicans' concerns about the tweets, saying no one person represents the Republican Party.
This impacting your ability to fundraise.
Those are people who didn't like me anyway. So I really don't care what they have to say. All right.
Do you care about being able to make sure that your party has enough?
Oh, of course. I never stated or implied that I didn't. Those were people who weren't going to support us anyways.
Kalamazoo leaders say the Catalyst development is focused on supporting diversity and inclusion with this project, providing employment opportunities and donating $6 million to the NACD. The 320,000 square foot arena will be located between Northwest Nidge Avenue and Park Street, not costing taxpayers any cash out of pocket as the project is completely privately funded.
You can't get no better than that. Somebody coming in helping us out of pocket too. Is wonderful.
Catalyst Development's initiative, supporting equality and diversity through workforce development initiatives.
I think that it was very well thought out who they were going to help and how they felt they could help.
The project will assist residents on Kalamazoo's north side to gain employment in the hospitality, entertainment, and sports management industry.
We know that this organization has been fighting for equality, helping their residents be self-sufficient to get the skills trades that they need so that they can get good paying jobs.
Jerry Williams has been a resident in the north side neighborhood for 25 years.
The more diversity we can get in our area, the better we can keep our community up.
Developers granting $6 million to the NACD in an effort to encourage economic development, housing, health, and wellness.
The Catalyst Group, we thank you for believing in our neighborhood and protecting our neighborhood.
The arena is expected to host 200 events annually, Western Michigan University Athletics, the K-Wings, along with concerts, ice shows, and more.
We believe this project will be a game changer, not only for downtown, but for our entire region.
Catalyst will work with NACD, Southwest Michigan First, and the city of Kalamazoo to identify historically underrepresented people with businesses in all sectors that could participate in the design and construction and operations of the event center.
20% of all the food and beverage concession space in the event center to be occupied by BIPOC vendors, Black, Indigenous, peoples of color.
Maddie Jordan Woods, the executive director at the NACD, believes that some of the funds will be used to improve housing and to also pay off the Park Street Market, a market that is owned by NACD. However, she said board members will ultimately need to make the decision of how the $6 million will be used.
I just love doing what I do. The thing about it is, make sure you got enough love in your heart to keep going, and God will keep you going.
Ruby Taylor said raising children was an assignment from God. When she adopted her first child in 1988, she had no idea what she was in for. Many of the children she adopted suffered everything from fetal alcohol syndrome to mental health issues.
Back 30 years ago, I had no clue about mental illness, so I just thought, oh, we just love them and that'll be enough, but that's not true.
Ruby tells me she got the help she needed in a hospital parking lot.
As we was walking to the car, I was very frustrated, and this lady came running behind me, and she said, here, call this lady, she can help you. And that was Ramona Deast of NAMI.
Ruby says that NAMI volunteer gave her the tools necessary to raise her adopted children. I talked with Suzanne Kellum from NAMI, who explains what the organization is all about.
We offer a family support group, and you can come to this family support group and meet people who aren't going to judge you, or your loved ones are going to understand what's going on. They're going to give you sympathy. They might be able to help you solve some problems.
In addition to the skills she learned from NAMI, Ruby works to educate herself on how to improve the mental health of her children.
I wanted to know all the signs. I wanted to know all the behaviors, all the signs. So I would stay up late at night just studying and researching.
Ruby has advice for other parents who are struggling with children suffering from mental illness.
What I try to teach my kids is, God didn't give up on me, so I can't give up on you.
Ruby says seeing her adopted children grow into successful adults makes all her hard work worth it.
It's the big reward. It's a big reward when you see them eager to do better, eager to break that cycle and where they came from. It is just, and then you just look at these kids and they just so beautiful.
Ruby also tells parents who are adopting children to be aggressive when it comes to getting help for them. She said due to a lack of state and private resources, it's up to the parent to make sure their children are taken care of.